One more time. One more time, Lord, one more time. Lord, I'm glad to be in the service one more time. If my mother was here today, she would join in and singing and praying. Lord, I'm glad to be in the service one more time. One more time. One more time. One more time. Oh, one more time, Lord, one more time. Lord, I'm glad to be in the service one more time. Anyways, y'all, how's everyone doing? I decided I wanted to sing that because you just cannot use any music if you want your video, you understand, to go through the algorithms, or if you're even trying to monetize. You cannot monetize and use other people's music, even if it says royalty free. They're still, to some extent, not allowing us to monetize even those videos. Okay, so that's why I decided to sing that song. I didn't give it any justice, you understand? But I felt like it was appropriate to sing that song for this particular video. Okay, so hello, Chastain Stone. Thank you for moderating. Hey, Infinite Juju, how are you? Hey, I am a god, 1982. Hey, She Traveler. Thank you so much for moderating. Yes, so I'm sorry that I did not get with you all Saturday. We said either be Saturday or either Sunday. Like I always tell everybody, either the wee hours of Wednesday morning or Saturday morning, or it may trickle over to the next day. You understand what I mean? So, but I didn't get a chance, so to come with you all. So I'm here now. Now, I know this sounds redundant, what I want to talk about, but I got to keep talking about it. You know what I mean? Because, like, press one if you know what hoodoo is. Press one. Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, Yolanda, how you doing? Press one if you really have a good idea of what hoodoo is. Okay, how you doing, Sean Butterfly? Okay, I am a god, Sean Butterfly, and She Travels say they know. Press two if you're also from the South. That's good, Yolanda. Glad to know you're doing well. Okay, Chastain says she knows that there is a difference between hoodoo and voodoo. Okay, so that's beautiful to know that you're in the South and you know what hoodoo is. Okay, so I know y'all saying, why we going over this again? And Infinite Juju knows. Look, and she's from the South. Okay. But y'all, I got to talk about this because it's too many. Well, I ain't going to say it's too many people, but there are some people out there that are definitely getting it confused. They're getting it confused, and then they're trying to tell us what it is and what it ain't. Okay. To some extent, we probably never would be able to really explain what hoodoo is. You understand? Because it can get vague, but we can definitely tell you what it's not. And just like Chastain said, it's not no voodoo. Okay, it ain't no voodoo. So here in the South, hoodoo is making a huge comeback. Now, it ain't never went nowhere because it's embedded in Southern people's what? Consciousness. You can't remove that thing. You understand? A lot of people get very frightened when you say that word down here. People get scared. Now I'm gonna be talking kind of very, very, with a strong draw, y'all, because it's quicker for me to say that versus trying to sit down here and talk, as proper as I can. But yeah, I have a strong Southern draw, but I think everybody in here is from the South, anyways. You understand? But ain't nobody down south gonna remove that out their consciousness. I don't care if you are afraid of it. I don't care if you don't want to talk about it. You know it when you see it. You see? Now, we got a lot of folks, once again, coming to the South. They're not from here. Okay? As we go through this great exodus, everybody's scattering everywhere, all over the world. In addition to that, a lot of folks is bringing their practices along here with us. Okay? The Mexicans are coming here in the South with their bruja. And they bringing Santa Muerta with them, or Santa Muerta. Okay? Then you got others bringing whatever they got with them here too. Santeria is coming here. Okay, so you just got this mix, this gumbo of different cultures bringing their folk magic. But we know that on the grounds here, these hallowed grounds in the South, you understand, that these ancestors ain't going nowhere. Okay? They stand in their ground just like we stand in our ground in the physical, saying, I shall not be moved. Our ancestors is doing the same thing. But we got some folk coming here thinking that they're going to, organize our house the way it's comfortable for them. And they're preaching to us, you understand, how our ancestors here, you understand, are bad. They ain't no good. And that they slaves. And how they need to be put to rest. They're disrespecting our ancestors. But they want the good graces of the spirits of our land to welcome them here. Not realizing that when you come to a place, that you must ask permission of the spirits, the ancestors, in order to be fruitful as you live here and decide you're going to pick up and go somewhere else or be laid to rest. In other words, there are serious consequences to go to a land, you understand, and have absolutely no respect or any regard for the energies that reside there. And you thinking your whole physical life might be compromised, but when you pass away, your spirit won't be at rest on this particular realm or on any other. Your body need to be laid somewhere where you got some respect for wherever that energy is at that particular location. This is the result of a lot of people coming to these places and having emotional issues, psychological issues, and going through the motions financially, because times are already hard, and this is a good time to talk about this. Also, you got your elections going, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about that too. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be crazy. Well, we all expecting for it to be really, really crazy, but y'all know I shift all around now. I'm shifting gears and stuff like that, but I'm gonna come back to what I'm talking about. Okay. Oh, but I've been hearing some crazy stuff out there. I don't know if y'all know it or not, but they said that black women gonna have to be particularly careful, because they said that those extremists, the KKK, said that they want to take the country back, and said that they coming for black women. So I want everybody to be careful out there. Whether or not it is a rumor or not, I still say we need to watch our back, because anytime anything has ever happened with these extremist groups, when times got tough or things wasn't going their way and they felt like their superiority had been threatened, they have always scapegoated black people, particularly black women. So like I told you, you can't remove that stuff from folks' consciousness. You know what I mean? So they forefathers practiced it. So it is embedded what? Into their DNA and thought pattern. They know just like it. Say for instance, you was like in a particular religion, like voodoo or something. When you got troubles, you got problems, you want to solve them, or you're trying to do a divination or somewhat, you want to please a god or what have you, the first thing to do is to what? Sacrifice a chicken, a rooster, or goat, or maybe some form of a cattle or something more drastic than that I ain't talking about. And it seemed to resolve what? The conflict and the problem. Well, that's what they've always seen us as. They wasn't hardly going to no goat or nothing like that, a fowl. They were coming to us. So, in the midst of feeling powerless, because you got so many people showing up, they're starting to feel unimportant. They feel as if though they got to put their foot on our neck. And that's supposed to fix it. So watch out. Everywhere you go, I always tell you, go to the grocery store, what I told y'all. Try not to go in the dark by yourself. Go up in the daytime, get what you need, and be looking all around. If you see a car, everywhere you go, it turns. When you turn, we got problems. Have your shotguns loaded. Now, I'm not teaching violence or whatever. I'm just saying whatever you can to protect yourself, have it at your door. My daddy when he got to be an elderly man, there were baseball bats everywhere. He had a baseball bat on the passenger seat, because when he passed, I'm like, where are all these baseball bats coming from? He had a baseball bat in the back of his car. He had a baseball bat at each door entrance or exit of the house. Even had a baseball bat by his bed. So if you squeamish and you don't like to really fool with weapons, like ammunition and all of that, have you a baseball bat, because I'm going to get me some. And practice swinging it. And this ain't no joke. I know it sounds funny the way I say it, but I'm for real. Hello? So, and sometimes, you just never know. Maybe they want to start some kind of race war. So you need to be privy of that. Because they want us to have some kind of civil unrest going on. At any rate, we're going to be strapped. Self-defense classes. I always say if a man come for you, try your best to take your knee if it get close up on you, and you know where to go for down in the crouch area. That will disable them so quickly. I don't like for you to kick your foot down there at them because they'll grab your leg. They very quick. Men are quicker and faster than we are when it comes to that physical stamina. But if you got it in your mind, you got it in your head, then you're going to remember what I said. And this might save somebody's life. I'm talking to everybody out there. We're going to spread the word on the rock, stones, crystals, and bones, and all of the asteroids. Blades, perhaps. Hello? You get my drill. Self-defense classes. Pepper spray. Don't go out there without nothing. And as y'all, I'm telling y'all that I'm fixing to get ready because you can't even find no baseball bats. They used to have them at the thrift store all the time, so I'm going to have to order me one. I'm going to order my baseball bat. I'm taking my friend everywhere I go. I had to get rid of my pepper spray because everywhere you go, you go in these government buildings and stuff, they want you to, you know what I mean? I said the best spray to have in your car is that Bear pepper spray. The one, that big can. Don't be out late at night in no weird ass places. In them fucking sundown towns. Like, I always take my son or Mr. Willis somewhere with me when we going somewhere at night. I don't even feel comfortable. I guess it could just be because I'm aging. But I found out 57 ain't even a senior citizen no more. You're not a senior citizen until you hit 65 now. They done set us back, but at one time 55 was like pretty much the age, they give like, little gratuity to you once you hit that age, but they done took that away. You got to be 65 because they said people living longer. And by the time, if you hit 65, it'll be 75. So we probably never get an opportunity to become senior citizens around here. Hello? So I want you all to keep what I say. Do not go on election days if you're going to go and vote. Ms. Willis says tomorrow. I told him, I said, some folks have already started voting. But I said, I want to say this right here. Don't go there with no shirts on that'll give it off. Like, I voted for Trump. I voted for Kamala. Don't put nothing on. People sensitive. Somebody's so sensitive they came to my comment section. and they told me, we know who you voting for, whatever. No, you don't know nothing. Won't nobody ever know me. Yeah, but don't put those t-shirts on. I voted black. Meaning that I voted black, I voted for Kamala. You understand? Trump 2025. Nah, don't do that. For your own safety, because regardless to which way it swings, somebody gonna be mad. If Trump get in office, somebody gonna be mad. If Kamala get in office, somebody gonna be mad. Okay? Now, according to the Simpsons, Trump got in office. Because they've already predicted it. Y'all need to watch that. I know people are swaying for Kamala. I'm not making a prediction at all. There's a man who made the prediction long ago that Reagan would get in office and then get back in there again. Well, he was right. Okay. Well, this particular man made another prediction. He predicted that Kamala, you're going to get your first Eastern woman / African American, and what's that, black woman in office. So either way or whatever, somebody might just get their gun and go shoot. Hello? The National Guard is gonna be on the ground, which I had already told y'all that. I said the military gonna have to be out. You know what I mean? And I was right. Military is going to be on the grounds in DC, and military is supposed to be on the ground, so it's said. I don't know how true it is for South Carolina, because these KKK groups made this statement in South Carolina. Okay. And I find it particularly interesting that they can say whatever they want to say and do what they want to do, and then they can get um they're able to go out, you know, understand, and get police protection and everything. But then when these black extremists pop up and everything, or with their weapons or what have you, it's it's trouble. Hello. So the South is gonna be, it's gonna be a place where it's gonna change a lot. You know, um, a lot of these monuments are going to come down in the South. Your flags, like the rebel flags, I heard that they already taken them down to some locations, but they're still flying high in the state of Alabama. What they want to do is what they've been doing forever: wipe out the culture. There's going to come a time you won't hear anything else about slavery and all of that. Civil rights movements, they're going to take that away, as they are changing the races here in the South. You got a lot of Hispanics here now. They're not going to be teaching the culture and giving the respect to the ancestors that slaved over making this place what it is. They've already done it in New Orleans. They took a lot of those monuments down there. So the next 100 years from now, won't nobody even know that black folks was out in the fields picking peas and cotton. Okay? Now, let's get back to this. Hoodoo is a culture. It's a hidden culture that is now coming to the forefront. Everybody putting their spin on it. Everybody all around the world is actually practicing it now. And anybody that's living in the South or talking about the hoodoo in the South, or just anybody talking about hoodoo, to tell you the truth, people gravitating to it that are from other places. I know of this African woman that practiced hoodoo, and she says she's a hoodoo doctor. And I said, oh, it is really getting around. So I want to talk about it. As I was growing up, and I would hear the word, which I've only heard it like one or two times. It's like even like necessarily that you really heard it. That word just seemed to be a word that is now being heard of now, like just publicly. But it was like a hush-hush word when I growed up. It's one of them foreboding things that you just wasn't able to really say unless you whispered it or you lowered your voice. And the context of what I'm seeing it is now, how they're incorporating the good and the bad in it, is very interesting, because growing up here in Alabama with me, I've heard somebody tell me that I don't know nothing about the culture of hoodoo. What do you mean? Hoodoo it courses through my blood. I mean, it was my ancestors and stuff that practice it. So quite naturally, it be in my bliss, in my blood. It's in my DNA. It's in my psyche. Because we are our ancestors. Everything they thought, we thought. Everything they did, we got to record it in our Akashic records. Am I right? I don't care if you believe in the hoodoo or not. If you from the South, it's in your bloodstream. And you recognize it when you see it. So when I was growing up, once again, it'd be something that was spoken low. Now, like, I'm not going to say, oh, you know what, they taught me hoodoo when I was a little girl, because didn't nobody teach me hoodoo when I was a little girl. Nobody taught that. But now, looking at it in hindsight, I saw the different things they did. And now people say, oh, that's hoodoo. Like my mama going out catching rain the first week of May. She always wanted the fresh May water. To me, that's a part of the culture of hoodoo. Our heads to get washed in it, because that was the lucky water right there. And she would also do floor washes with that first May water. Oh, our hair just growed all down our back. Make your nails long and thick. Now, I don't know what they putting in the May water now, y'all. If y'all want to do it, you can do it. But I'm just saying, she would use that water as like a special potion water. You know what I mean? A floor wash water or whatever. Some people store that May water. You got the first week May water, they'll put it in a glass and label it, so they can incorporate it in their what? Rituals. Floor washes. Or what have you. It was blessed water. So you get what I mean when I say you can see little things. You can see little things and say, oh, that's what that is. Having the Bible turned open. I'm finding out, okay, that's a part of hoodoo. Turn to the 23rd Psalm. Auntie would say, you know, if the page is flipped, you in the house by yourself, that means the devil been messing with your, trying to see what you're up to. And yes, I've come in the temple and found pages flipped from the 23rd Psalm, and I found it in my house. That was a tradition. Y'all call it hoodoo once again. That was a tradition to walk in the front door of somebody in the South, and it still goes on with the old folks to the day. Now, young folks is picking the tradition up now. You walk in a person's house in the South. I'm just telling you now, cause you got folks coming from everywhere that think that they're gonna change something here. Telling us that what we do ain't right. So you gonna come in the person front room, because I done took y'all into Auntie's room, her front room. We call it the front room. The olden days, we'll call it what? The front room. Other folks said the living room. They welcome you in. You don't just sit down. You stand up till they tell you to have a seat. And they'll tell you where they want you to sit at. You can't just sit anywhere and plop down. Back in the day, they'd have plastic, this heavy-duty plastic over their furniture. It'd be that nice, good furniture and everything. And some of them didn't even want you to sit on their on their front room furniture, what have you. They might give you a chair or tell you to come to the back in the back somewhere and sit down. And I'm talking like how those folks would have talked back in the day. Once again, the people who raised me were born like in the early 1900s. And my granny was born 1899, and she had a hand in raising me too. So a lot of what you hear is old Southern drawl. This is the way they talk, and except for my mom. My mom was very, very proper because she was a school teacher. You know what I mean? So you hear me go back and forth, because it was a battle. Because Mama would be like, "Don't say that. Don't say it like that." Because I said, "Teeny, weeny, 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 weeny." I say, "Teeny, teeny." It's not teeny. It's tiny. Say that right. Tiny. Okay, tiny, Mama, tiny. You know? Y'all heard them two taps. I've been telling y'all for years. I hear everybody saying it now. They're getting two taps. I've been telling y'all from day one. I get taps on my window. When my clients get my work that I give them, they hear taps too. Now that's the going thing. Everybody get two taps. I said, I'm really spreading all across the place, ain't it? All across the land. But y'all heard it yourself, the two taps. My client, I'm shifting gears all the place. I'm coming back now. Just give me a minute now. My client, the one who got that $2,000 dog, which he spent $2,500 total because he bought quite a bit of stuff. I told him, I said, when I was making the dollar, I said, you're going to hear two taps. Way before he got his dog, I said, you're going to hear two taps. Spirit is really with me today because I hit, and now they done tapped up on the ceiling. You're going to get two taps. Okay? He called me, he told me, he said, I got them two taps. I said, that means the dollar's with you, the spirit. And you can go ahead on and start talking to the spirit and telling them your wishes or what you desire and all of that. And I told him, I said, she's going to tap again when you get the box because the box was delayed because it was a big box. So he was quite anxious. When he got his box, he heard two taps, two times in the box. And he said, he wasn't shocked. He said, because I had already prepared him for it, okay? And all of my people who get my readings have dreams and prophecies or whatever, because I'm the dream master. Now, I know people are going to come back and say what I say. Yeah, but y'all heard it over here first, because it's very awkward, because when I say it, and they say it, when I come back, it sounds like I'm copying off of them, y'all. Y'all don't know how challenging this is getting for me, because you got bigger channels that are repeating what I say, and the challenge is it makes it seem as if though I am just you know what I mean, a parrot. But I live this culture. I've been through the difficulty. This don't come easy. This came with quite a bit of humility. Growing up rough in the South. Not South with the TH, but they put an F, South, on the end of it. Now, everybody talking like me. Now, don't get me wrong now. I'm not saying, when I say that, I'm talking about some of these folks is legit. Turning on their channels talking like me. Now, some folks are from the South. They're going to quite naturally talk like me. Don't get me wrong. But I'm talking about, come on now. You talking like me and you way out there in Utah? Come on now. They don't talk like that out there out west. If it's some folks out west talking like this, let me hear it. I want, not hear it, but hear it. So bear with me, y'all, as I give you all this information or what have you. But I do talk a little bit about some of the things that are frustrating. You know what I mean? But it comes with the territory. Because when people know you from a particular location and you're giving out information on it, and they really want to learn it or what have you, they have a tendency to emulate whatever you say or whatever. It's fine just as long as you don't have an issue with me. But if you have an issue with me and you're speaking ill will of me, hey Gail, thank you for moderating, then that becomes an issue. That becomes a problem. Am I correct? Am I right? I might be wrong. I don't mind people practicing as long as they got respect for me and my spirits and my ancestors. But to say my ancestors were some low down, dirty, dark, this, that, and the other, but you want to use my formula, my recipe, and then you're wondering how come you got so many financial problems and financial issues. It's beyond me. I'm not gonna use your stuff if I know I don't like you. I'm not gonna fool with it. Because I don't know how your spirit's gonna take that. They may just really take that to heart and start doing work on me. Cause I ain't gonna lie, these ancestors down here, y'all, all y'all from the south, y'all know y'all ancestors are overly protective of y'all. Once you start acknowledging your ancestors, y'all know what that means. They gonna really go to bat for you. They're not gonna be playing around with folks. And you know it's just like that down south and get messed up pretty bad down here. Cause I don't care how you talk about the practice, if the ancestors don't like you, they're gonna put you out in the street. You offend somebody. I can share some stories with you. You gonna find scratches. You gonna be like, where these scratches came from on me? These marks and bruises and stuff. They will attack you. They will go all the way to your house. I don't care where you at. I'm gonna share an experience with you. I think I may have told y'all about this. Or I was telling Mr. Will about this. I was in an African woman chat. And I happened to see, she was talking about something. And she had a whole bunch of people behind her. And I was talking about them clouds. You know, they putting those artificial clouds globally. I said, I can see these artificial clouds are all in your backdrop too. In your skies, just like they are here. She told me, she said, get out of here. You're not our kind. Then I said, oh, wow, excuse me. You know, when she hit that thing and she knocked me out of chat. I said, woo-wee. I said, she is very, what's the word, sensitive about the situation. Because they was talking about some type of African folklore stuff type thing. I said, whoo, she got me out of there. Do y'all know my lights turned off and came back on? What do I take that as? I take that as those was her ancestors. And if they brought their asses all the way over here from across the seas and flicked my lights to let me know who was in charge. And I had to let them know you ain't in charge here. You better leave these lights alone over here. This is my soul. And I could just see my ancestors chasing their asses off. That's what happens on a particular land. Like you go to a particular land. Like say for instance, you go to a location. And there's always conflict, gun violence, and all kind of stuff there. That is because there is a conflict in the spiritual realm in that area. Everybody who go to that location wind up getting hurt, you know, SHOT and things like that. Unalive. All kind of violence when you go in these different places because of that. When you see a person you instantly don't like them and you ain't never met them before in your life, it's a spirit meet up. Both spirits meeting up and they don't like each other because they could have been past rivals and generations back. So all your problems is always of a spiritual nature. Even your sicknesses and stuff, your dis-ease are all of a spiritual nature. They're just like a person who can be ailing. Say for instance, they got heart ailments. Heart give out. They get another heart and that one give out. Because we have not addressed the spiritual ailment. Whatever that spirit is on that heart, it's going to transfer to what? The new heart. Same with the kidneys. So we got to correct in spirit what is going on. Reminds me of Auntie. I never will forget this, y'all. And y'all might have heard this story. Me and Auntie was on the phone together that night. And there was a man standing there. I was sitting in the dark talking to Auntie. Y'all just don't know how I wish I could go back to them days when Auntie was young and this, and she taught me so much. I was just sitting in the dark. Me and Auntie just were talking away. Cause see, it was daylight when we was talking, and then as the day went on, it got dark in the room, and I hadn't turned the lights on yet. And Auntie, we was on the phone. I said, Auntie, I said, I see a man. He stand up in front of me. He got a black suit on. And in this culture down here, what y'all call hoodoo, if you see a man in a black suit, that means somebody gonna pass away that was close in the family. So he was just standing there, and I told her about it. The next day, she said, "I'm gonna tell you. I wasn't gonna say nothing to you." She said, "But she said my sister passed, which her sister is my auntie." She said, "Bob passed." And I can't give y'all, I started to give out more information, but I can't do that. You know what I mean? I got to have a bit of privacy here. And my auntie, I got a chance to talk to her before she passed. She was an evangelist, and she lived in Georgia. She moved to Massachusetts to Georgia. And she prayed for me. She was a prophetess. So she used her gift by saying she was a prophetess, whereas I used my gift and I said, I'm a hoodoo worker, hoodoo woman. I do mine a little bit differently. I don't care what nobody say, they the same thing, one and the same. So she prayed for me and everything, and then I heard throughout the years that my auntie had got colorectal cancer, and she passed, and it was really, really, really bad. She suffered a lot, and y'all know what cancer do to you. So when I told Auntie when Auntie told me about that, immediately I had got this pain in my stomach. Auntie got a pain in her stomach. So that pain in my stomach immediately made me go in to the bathroom, and y'all brace yourself. I shitted and vomited at the same time. Okay. In addition to that, I kept smelling embalming fluid, and that to me that stuff stink. And they like to add like a flowery type fragrance with it and stuff so it won't smell too bad when you go inside of these funeral homes and stuff like that. Because I remember my daddy passed. It was all over everything. The stuff they left behind, the funeral home left behind had it. It's reeking in that smell. But it's supposed to smell like flowers, but you cannot help but to smell the embalming fluid. So I smelled that. Auntie smelled it and had that sharp pain in her stomach too. But she didn't throw up. She didn't boo-boo it out. It stayed in there. And whereas the what you call left me where I couldn't smell the most, she kept on smelling for a long time. Do y'all know Auntie wound up with the colorectal disease? That's what put her down, y'all. She's still alive, but she had to have a section of her colon removed. So, what I'm getting at is this stuff jumped on her. I was able to expel it. So, what that spirit does, it has to have a physical body to live in. And it wants a familiar body. So what it do, it take down your family members. So once it leave her, then it go to somebody else in the family. Then it go to somebody else. Then it goes to somebody else. It's called a reaper, just reaps different people. So like this one girl, her mom had died of kidney failure. Then poor girl, 6 months later, she wound up with the kidney failure. Do you see what I mean? And then she passed with it. Sicknesses ain't nothing but a spirit. And it's everywhere. It's all over the place. It's stuff like that. Spirit's wrong. That's why you have to be oiled up. You need your protective oils to go on your forehead. Your forehead. Some people say put it on the palms of your hands and the palms of your feet. And I just feel like candles should be burning and your oil should be dropped inside of your, what you call, if you got your little lantern going, whatever you want to do. We do candles now. Drop your 3 little drops of oil every single night inside your candles to stay as much as protected as possible. Now, Auntie lived a long time with all them different ailments. 2 open heart surgeries, all kinds of surgeries all over her body. Colorectal. This woman, 83 years old, still alive. How I see that she lived that long is she was able to heal herself, and she would always drop them drops of oil in her commode when she went to the bathroom, or in her bath water, different little places like that, and keep her forehead oiled up. That oil kept that woman alive. See the importance of that? Now, coming back over here to this hoodoo over here. Look. I'm talking to anybody who's coming from any location other than the South. You are not going to be able to understand what hoodoo is to the extent of the people who are from the South who have it coursing through their veins. You can look it up, research it. That's beautiful and respect it. But never question the people in the South about it. That and that only is the disrespect. What is hoodoo? Hoodoo is the people. Hoodoo is the church. You ain't gonna move no Christianity, no church, nothing like that. Catholicism, you're not taking that out. And you're not going to make the people feel guilty like they're less powerful because they practice using the church. The typical person who would practice hoodoo, and they're not going to necessarily say, oh, I'm a hoodoo doctor. They don't use these words down south. That's the biggest thing I need to clear up. They don't use the word. Now, that's something new that they're really using it openly like that now down south. But y'all can tell me, the ones of you all who have grown up down south, y'all know darn well y'all ain't heard nobody say, let's go and practice some hoodoo. Hoodoo is a hush hush. You don't necessarily talk about it, but we talking about it now here from an educational point, commentary, you understand, here on the internet. But you don't go around down south and tell everybody, hey, look, y'all, you practice hoodoo. It's not a conversation piece. It's taboo. That's your little quiet thing. It's not open to debate. You go in your closet with it, your prayer closet. Prayer is incorporated in hoodoo. Yes, praying. Jesus is incorporated in hoodoo. But hoodoo got 2 sides to it, though. It's got its darkness as well as its light. This is why it is the practice for most people all over the world, because, you know, people got to realize when it comes to voodoo, and voodoo is not voodoo, they still maintain a certain level of respect, even though people try to say, oh, it's nothing but darkness and this and that and other, whatever. It's a religion. Now, I heard an old lady told me hoodoo is our religion. And I told her, I said, I hadn't heard it from that perspective yet. And she told me, she said, she said, hoodoo is our religion. She said, "Call," and that lady name, her name Clara. Her name, I can say Clara Jean because ain't nobody gonna know who I'm talking about. Clara had my back when everybody, man, when everybody had done tossed me out because I was adopted. Like, you don't belong here. We don't know who your folks is and all of that. No, they didn't say that, but I'm just saying that's just how I began to feel when I became an adult woman. My mom passed and everything. My dad had passed. I started feeling alienated by my adopted family as well as my birth family because it's like neither one of them really, the birth family didn't raise. Adopted family would always say, well, we're not blood kin. They wouldn't say that, but you would feel it in their presence. Do y'all understand what I mean? So Clara had my back. Especially the fact I was very controversial because y'all see me, you don't every day see a woman like me. So, I went, I was against the grain, not trying to. I'm just naturally that way. But Clara would taught me so much, just like Auntie, and Clara still alive too. Clara the same age Auntie is. Clara begged me not to move here because I stayed on that strip right there. Clara said, please, don't go down there. You're going to be so alone. Don't go. I said, it's a journey I must take, Clara. But she would come to the house and she would talk. We would just sit down and we just talk. And she told me so much history. And she told me about that little area over there where we stayed at. She said it was because it was a tornado alley because they would always go through there and tear stuff down. And they called that place Mississippi Town, is what they called it. And she said it'd be all kinds of Victorian houses up and down that street, there, Cherry Avenue. And she said a tornado tore just about all of it down. She said each house had its own theme. She said, well, just Mississippi Town was nothing but a party town for black folks. You understand? Folks gambled, in the house and stuff. Folks sold fish place and chitlin place and all that stuff. She said with so much love. And so you have one big old house, it'd be the New Orleans house, and then you had another house, it'd be Nashville, Memphis house, and different little things like that. You just go in each one of the houses with anyone you want to go through. And people will be singing, the blues and stuff like that, selling all kind of catfish places. Woo, y'all, I miss that type of lifestyle. We so divided. People, you just don't, I don't know how to explain it, but it just seems like black folks is against each other right now. You know what I mean? I miss those little backyard parties and stuff like that. All that stuff gone good for good. What was won't be no more. Now look for that comment to be everywhere that I just said, that quote. Every quote I said is becoming a quote where I can just look it up and I hear somebody using it or somebody comment with the quotes I have, and then I go and look. Now it's in the Webster's dictionary, or somebody's doing it's everywhere. I'm like, wait a minute now. These are just little simple things the old folks would tell me growing up, and these folks, like I said, was born in the 1920s and 30s. My aunt, and that's not a quote, what was won't be no more. But it's going to be one. They're going to go and tote it everywhere. Everything I say go viral. I got a video now on my other channel. I got 2.2 million views, and it should be more than that. But YouTube didn't really want to pay for none of it. I go viral. That's going to go viral. What was won't be no more. I be talking to this my other auntie, the auntie that died when she was 96 years old. She died in 2018. I've always, the reason why I know so much of the old terms and speak so old or what have you is because I've always sat under the foot of the elders. When most people was out there partying and everything, when they was in their 20s, when I was in my 20s, I was on the unmarried. We had a little maid named Mary. We call her Miss Mary. And then Mr. Willie's auntie was Aunt Mary. And that just always what old folks raised me from my 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. I'm in my 50s. Now I don't have an elder or whatever to sit under. After auntie, that was my last elder to sit under. But all my life, I ain't been under nobody but else. And they would just tell me everything. Aunt Mary would tell me everything. Mr. Willie, auntie, she showed me how to, and like I said, let's just, let me just go back and talk about hoodoo. Hoodoo is your church. Hoodoo is your Bible. Hoodoo is prayer. Hoodoo is prophecy, sight, work. All of these things is what hoodoo is. And if it ain't, you tell me it ain't. Hoodoo is graveyard work. Let's go to the dark side. We already talked about Jesus, the Bible, Christianity, Catholicism, the oil. That's one of the most prevalent. Thank you, baby. The most prevalent of hoodoo is the oil. The anointing of the head, the palms, the hand, the candle. See, in other words, hoodoo pulls in just about any type of belief system. If you need it's just like coming up with a recipe. If you need a little bit black pepper to go in, put your black pepper in there, put your pepper, your cayenne pepper, put everything in it. It can pull from Buddhist. It can pull from voodoo. It can pull from Christianity. It can pull from Catholicism. It can pull from Ifa. It can pull from all of that. Y'all hear Palo Mayambe? It can pull for all that and put it in there to each other. It's not one set belief. So whereas you praying to God for miracles, in hoodoo, you can turn around and pray and ask God to smite your enemies, to destroy them, to bring financial disasters to them. This is hoodoo. And when I have heard the word growing up and as a young adult, if somebody said hoodoo, people got scared. Hoodoo? Who doing it? Hoodoo. People got scared. Oh, girl, that woman's house burned down. She got hoodoo. That's the only time you would hear the word. So I'm not trying to change anything about the tradition, because I know from one southern state to the next is something different. One family member to the next is in their tradition. But in my household and how we grew up, not just my household, but just the way we grew up here, the only time the word was used is when it was used for something bad, to say, oh, she did hoodoo on her. Girl, that man got hoodoo, man. It was always bad. But now I'm starting to see in the light that there is some light in it. That it ain't complete darkness. You just go to somebody and see what they say. That's just like I told y'all. I said somebody had shot my dog in the head. They cut his head off and put him under the stairs. They did baby like that. And I went down there and I told the white man down there, and the white man said this right here, said, don't tell nobody. He said, but that's hoodoo. You ever heard of hoodoo? I said, yeah. He didn't even know I even heard of it. I said, I've heard of it. So it's a practice down south that's not only practiced by black people, it's practiced by the whole. White people practice it and black people practice it. White people know just as much of it as you do. They can set little tricks up for you too. And if you don't know what tricks are, that's when folks go and hoodoo your grounds. Understand what I mean? It's called a trick. Put blood stains on your own different things. Somebody had hoodooed my ass long time ago. Back in like the I said the late 90s or something like that. I had blood, like a blood. You would think it's blood, but what they do, they go and they mix up some stuff. I ain't gonna tell y'all what they mix up. And then they had them painted my little rails and shit. And then when they do that shit, you got to move. It's not like you moving cause you scared, but when they put that stuff down, it is made to make you move. People can make you move out your shit if they know what they're doing. People who really know what they're doing, and I ain't gonna tell y'all what to put in them ingredients. I always tell my clients what to do, but I ain't finna tell nobody that so they can come and put it on me. People can have snakes around your yard. You can have a yard full of snakes. I ain't talking about in a situation where you got chickens and stuff like that, and they got eggs and stuff like that. Cause quite naturally, if like where I'm in a rural place, quite natural. We have like lots of wildlife here, and chicken snakes and stuff. They want to get to the eggs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? If you got little bitties out or what have you, but if you living in a residential area where you're like living in a cul-de-sac or something like that, or what you call them things when you got a whole bunch of houses up in them, a little neighborhood, they call them subdivisions. That's what they call them. And you got snakes, pulling snakes in your yard. Well, somebody done some work on you, especially like that aunt I was telling y'all about. They had that colorectal, and she passed away. Everywhere she went, she would always have a den of snakes under her kitchen sink. See, they hoodoo her. I'm gonna put it like this. Listen, and I can't tell y'all too much. Some of y'all already know. She was married to a very famous man. I'm gonna put it like that. I ain't gonna say who it is, because I've ran my mouth too much in the past. And that famous man had a group who is now very much popular to this day. And he ran off with their money. So my aunt was left the house. Because, see, my aunt, the man had divorced my aunt and left her with the house. But my aunt couldn't come up with the taxes on it. Even though the house was paid off, she couldn't come up with the tax money. So she wound up leaving there. For one thing, it was really fucked up because, like, she would go in her kitchen cabinet. She went in her kitchen cabinet on the sink, and then she had some snakes under there. So, in other words, somebody put some work on them for what had happened. So she went down south, her and her sons, after she sold the house. She got a house, and her sons tricked her out of that house. And lo and behold, there were den of snakes there, so she went and got her own house with what she had left. And she had snakes there. Because she would always tell me she was going to move to Rockdale, Georgia, all the time. She said, I have a vision where I can see horses and stuff. I got horses, and I'm going to move to Rockdale. She just held out on that hope, that she would get there and everything. She was a very extremely beautiful woman, but it didn't turn out like that. Her beauty went downhill because, they had done hoodooed her so bad. You know what I mean? And then she went on down from there, and she passed on or what have you. So, but what I'm trying to show you, these people can do all sorts of things to you. They can put live things in you. This is the downside. Now, this is what we've always known hoodoo to be. Nothing but darkness. But then I look at other cultures, like people like in South Carolina, North Carolina, and places like that. My volume is down. Let me see if I can turn my volume up. It is up. I've heard people here lately, they're talking about the portion of hoodoo that sounds very bright and encouraging. But I'm just gonna be honest, y'all. Y'all might say, "Oh, you crazy?" Then, um, that just ain't the way it is down here in Alabama. It ain't. I just talked to a lady, and the lady just sound vague. She's from here. She's from Alabama, and she don't necessarily. I mean, I got a brother. He's a prophet. Y'all saw my brother on the veneration, and he can see. Me and him both see. He call it spirits. He's very he he's a minister, so he incorporate Christianity. If I ever get a chance to talk to him, because he don't really talk about that kind of stuff really, because like I said, that stuff is kind of taboo. You just don't really sit down and just really talk about that stuff to these people. But a lot of the folks in my family uh is tied into it. But he he if you say hoodoo to him, he back up. See, this is the way it is in the South, and these people who come to get work, if I say, oh, you know what, I'm a hoodoo woman, they can tend to get scared. Some of them will say, I don't want a root worker, because that's dark to them. Because roots are considered to be dangerous. Hoodoo is considered to be dangerous. Y'all get where I'm coming from? So here in Alabama, because I can't speak for everybody else, y'all. I can't speak for Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, because Virginia's in it too, I heard. From Virginia all the way out to some portions of the West. Some portions of the West have lost theirs. You know what I mean? Out in Texas, all the way out in Texas and stuff like that. In Southern California too. You know, they practice that shit too. Um, but yeah, I know here in Alabama, if you go to talking about hoodoo, that's considered something really, really dark and terrible. You tell them, say, I'm a hoodoo woman. I'm a hoodoo woman. You just don't say that, y'all. What you gonna say? Well, I'm a prophetess. Now I'm completely honest. I always tell them, say, I'm a root worker. I'm a root worker here. And so I have some that, I want to go with me, and I have some that just get kind of like nervous, and they say, no, I'm not necessarily looking for that. Um, who's most popular when working this type of work? Hoodoo, as you all call it. You know what I mean? And I call it hoodoo too now, because I've been educated. Because I call myself a hoodoo woman, don't I? Okay. Uh, I kind of lost my thought pattern because I got so much on my mind that I want to talk to you all about. But let's just talk about this root working or what have you. Once again, when people hear roots down here, roots mean something really, really terrible. Whereas I've been educated, and it's hard to educate everybody here in Alabama. I've been educated that roots could mean, also herbal, working with herbs. But it's so taboo and frightening because people said, well, that woman had roots on her, honey. She had what? Yeah, she had roots, baby. She had a whole snake in her stomach. Cause Willie's daddy told us a story about a lady had done went to a root worker, and she was talking about how she was feeling something wiggling in her stomach and everything. And said that the root worker took her hand and put it across and hit the lady across like that across the stomach, and the woman immediately threw a snake up. And said a snake came out and just crawled off or what have you. You got some folks who can do some serious root magic, root work, whatever. And what the way we were taught is that if you got something bad like that, you got to go to a root worker, because if they know how to put it in you, they know how to what? Take it out of you. See what I mean? So they call them root doctors, root workers. You understand? Two head. Now two heads, that's an Alabama term, but since I've been talking about two heads, it's been getting a lot of exposure, and now you can Google and find two heads. So I'm like, is Google listening to me? Look, let me tell you something. I never heard of a two-head doctor growing up. I didn't find out about a two-head doctor until one of my cousins, my biological cousin, hit me up. I was going around calling myself a witch, and you can't be down south now. For the word of caution, you can't be down south telling everybody you know witch. You just can't. It just, it just don't. The two don't match. You can't be no black woman going around here down south talking about I'm a witch. I'm a witch. Hey, do you want some witch work? In the beginning, I was calling myself that because that's the only thing I knew to call it. But as I grew older, I realized what I was. To some extent, I will say, hey, people think I'm a witch. Okay, she's a witch. Cause see, witch is a bad thing here. Like the lady down the street, you know what I mean, that had the mustache. She had a whole bunch of cats or what have you. They call that woman a witch. Which was considered to be a very dangerous person that was vile and ugly, monstrous. She was a monstrosity of some kind. She would always be burning something, and people could smell it, and it would make them sick. You see, she was responsible for all of the plagues and outbreaks that came out of what have you. You see, so you don't really want to be going around calling yourself no witch, even though I got that book out there. What have you? But as we grow older, we become more knowledgeable and we become more wise and stuff. So if you still say you're a witch, and you're a witch, okay, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with saying that, but don't tell nobody. Shh. Don't say that. It's not an honor to go around saying that because one day the witch hunt gonna be back on. That's gonna be a very dog day. Cause I got a feeling they's coming because people just looking for anybody to scapegoat. Word of caution. Hmm? So when it comes to this thing, hoodoo, people will come into your yard and late at night and pour all kind of stuff down in your yard. It's somebody and I know who you is and pour stuff here in my yard, and I'm still here because this here place is all up. I've heard you brag about how you been here. We doing good. So if anything, it's been a blessing. Pour much of it down here as you want to. And I know you got folks listening. You're using me for your work and everything so folks can call. You're a man, y'all. So people can hit you up or work or whatever. Keep on pouring it. Because you ain't doing nothing but hurting yourself, baby. I know you're young and you're feeling well, but you ain't going to even live to be my age. You know that? Because you don't know what you're getting yourself into. We doing good. And I don't care what happened to me. It ain't got nothing to do with you. Not a thing. Because these grounds over here, holy grounds, you coming on. You ain't going to live to see my age. Hello, and you know who you are. Because you come here all the time, laughing and smoking your cigars and all of that. Flashing all your flashy suits and coats and all of that. And you've been in my yard and you wonder, and it's to let you know that, and you called me up on the phone years ago, to let you know I can see very well, and I know you've been over here. Because I seen every bit of what you pulled down there. And I turned it around on you a long time ago. I want to make sure you don't live to see 57. I done put my mouth on it, and ain't nothing you can do about it. I don't care. You can go back to your country and go to all kind of folk. Cause if you keep on messing with me, I'm gonna make sure when you go back home, you don't come back. And if you do come back, you're gonna come back in a what? In a gift bag or a gift box. Hmm? That's very disrespectful. But we doing good. We doing fine. Because you done it. What you did it, what, about a couple of years ago? I'm still alive. And I'm doing fine. Hmm? And you said over time, as it cooking, gonna do what? No, it's gonna cook you from the inside out. Huh? But anyway, you got to realize, y'all, you got a lot of folks out there in the business that's jealous. They want to take you down because they don't have the gifts that you have and the blessings that you have. So they want to see you out the door. They're using any kind of excuse. Oh, she tried to do some work on me. That's try to say all kind of stuff. Sir, I don't know you. I can care less your circumstances. I don't know you. I don't know what you got a fascination with an American woman for, a grandma at that. So evidently, whoever that is you with, you're not happy with her because your mind can't take it off of me. You want power. I know that's what you want. You want power, but you're not gonna get none. You want to be rich. You want to be wealthy, wearing nice suits, nice watches, beautiful this, that, and other women, nice shoes. Don't cut it. Living in a luxurious apartment means nothing. The only wealth now is real estate. If you don't have any real estate behind you, you don't have wealth. People think wealth is just in here. I'm just talking on the physical plane. A lot of people think wealth is in like wearing a cute watch that cost them a pretty good penny, or Armani suit or something, or some I don't know what kind of, I don't know what's the name of the new shoes now, but back in the day they were Stacy Adams and Florshams. You know, you can have those all day long, but you got guns and you got butter, as they see it on Baby Boy. Guns is just material things, that are disposable type of things. You know what I mean? They lose value. But butter, you understand, it increases, it appreciates. You got a bunch of stuff that depreciates. So you're walking around trying to look wealthy, but you ain't got no butter. Hmm? And the only reason why I'm saying this is because you've been in my yard. Huh? I know you want power because you figure if you got power, you want my power. You want to sleep with me. I'm just going to be honest with you. You figure if you have sex with me, it's not for pleasure. It's not for none of that. You just feel like you can get some of my personal power. I know what you want. You got people that will lay up with people, old folks at that, for their personal power. I keep telling people rape has nothing to do with how you look. People are trying to find a way to find power over you and have access to something. Women watch that. Men, you got to watch it too. Watch that stuff. Keep an eye on your back and have your spirits, you understand, surrounding you, and pay attention to them at all times, because they alerted me to this individual in my fucking yard. And there are men around this house, so you took a big chance. And everybody, all my folks up and down this street got my back. This is sundown town. I pray that when you come back again, that you get stopped and pulled over and taken back there to Wetumpka. That'll teach you a lesson. Don't come back over here no more. Because I'm going to set a trick up or a trap up for you specially. I don't know where people get the gumption to think that because you seem like a little sweet little old lady in the South, that they can just do you like you want. And if you retaliate, it's a problem. You a terrible person. I said I was a root roker. I didn't say I was a nun. Hmm? But anyways, I wanted to talk about that, y'all. I wanted to talk about, once again, and sometimes y'all hear me coming back and forth talking about it. But now what I'm going to do, I want to come back later, but I be saying later, y'all, and sometimes I don't do what I said I'm going to do. I'm sorry, but I'll try to get to it as soon as I can. I could say tonight, but then I might not make it tonight. It may be tomorrow night or the night after. But I want to, I wish we had a private spot. I want to talk to y'all about some of these here recipes. Because me, myself, personally, you know, I just know hoodoo from a very dark perspective. Once again, when people be seeking out somebody who do work, they usually be going to these church women and these church men. Like the Reverend Ike. So if they see a man come, say for instance, walk in the grocery store and he got a suit on, it's always a light colored suit. Very odd color, like light olive green suit. And then he might have like a little badge, a gold badge on him or something like that. I'm trying to describe what they look like. They don't look like pimps. But it's an energy. They be like a man of God. Long time ago, they were total Bible under their arms. Them right there would be considered what y'all might know now as a, you know, like you see what I'm like, a hoodoo man or something like that. Like your Reverend Ike. He would always press one. Anybody remember Reverend Ike? I know some of you are very young. Do anybody in here remember Reverend Ike? Okay, Raquel. And hey, Raquel, thank you for moderating. And she Traveler, thank you for moderating. Okay, so Raquel heard of Reverend Ike. A lot of y'all don't know Reverend Ike. But that type of style man walking around here now, we call them prophets. That's kind of like how my brother is. They will go to him before they'll come to me. Women will go, in other words, women will take most of their business to men. If the women was to come to a woman, she got to be well up in age. So a woman ain't gonna necessarily come to a woman at a certain age. She's kind of young, like in her 40s or something like that, even 50s. They want to go to somebody old, if it's a female. A man, when he looking for work, he's gonna go to an old woman too. He may dance around a little bit with my age range. Usually, and y'all got to realize, usually, sometimes this man, will go to a woman in her 40s. Now, somebody said they root working in 30s and stuff like that. I question that. That's too absolutely too young. 20s and 30s, that's too young. Go through what you're supposed to go through in your 20s and 30s. Don't put yourself at this is gonna age you fast. Y'all see this gray in my eyebrows? I picked it up too young. Them old folks up there with Auntie told me she's only 43. She ain't got no business messing with this. That's too young. So it'll gray you quickly. Because you're taking on folks' problems, trying to help solve them. That's another thing they use the terminology problem solver. I'm here to solve your problem. Some people, they ain't necessarily here to read or to do work. They just help solve the problem. You say, I don't know what's going on. You know, I'm in a situation where I need somewhere to go, and we don't have no. That person gonna take their time out and locate a place for you to go. They're problem solvers. They help get the stress off of you trying to make big decisions. They'll consult with spirit to figure out which way you want to, which best way to go. So it's a genre of different ways, people can help you spiritually. Or they're just spiritual advisors. You might want to call them that. But some men will go to a younger woman, but that's in the matters of something sexual of some kind. Like maybe they're impotent and they need help with that. So they might go to a variety of women, but they're you to go to a younger woman for that, and vice versa. Here in Alabama is a thing called the foot wash. I be saying I'm gonna go to the foot wash, but I never go. And I think it happens in September. Long time ago, Auntie told me the foot wash was a very spiritual thing. So when you come to the foot wash and stuff, they'll wash your feet. They help, get all of that stuff off of you and everything, get you prepared for the winter, what have you. But they're also, on a spiritual level, offer sex. And that's a part of the practice, believe it or not. I know y'all gonna say, what? Yes, that's a part of that practice, honey. So you got some, as far as I'm concerned, as far as my particular work goes, I've never ever did anything like that. Even when I was younger, that was never a part of my particular genre of magic. But there are people out there that offer that. That look up the foot wash of Alabama. Look at the traditional foot wash. You would go there with your white gown on and had your white turbans on your head. I guess, I imagine you had white turbans on or what have you. And, you'd go there and that woman would wash your feet and then offer you that. And that's supposed to fix you. Now it's like a little bit different. I have not gone, but it's they're still doing the thing. It's just like a Sodom and Gomorrah, along with different food stands and sort of like a flea market and stuff like that. But it was something else down here a long time ago. Um, but yeah, that's the way it was down here. And that's where it still is, and in secrecy. In secrecy, they still doing that. Uh-huh. Uh, Going down to the river. I'm going to lay down my burdens. Down by what? The riverside. That's why y'all ain't getting that stuff off of you. Cause, if you stayed up inland or what have you, your best friend was the river. If you stayed near the shores, you would go to the ocean. And you got to be very careful when you go into the river and when you go into the ocean, because some of that stuff, see, because like when people come down here and I take them for a cleansing, I always take them down there to the creek. See what I mean? So when you remove the stuff off them, I took one lady to the lake. She was scared. She said, this water don't look clean. It don't look. I said, girl, come here and dip your head over here so I can wash that stuff off of you. Y'all the stuff jumped up on me. So you got to know how to get it off you, because like I said, when you start going to the only way to get rid of this stuff is go to these waters. You could just, people say, I'm trying to get in the tub and get it off me and all that. You can't get that stuff off in the bathtub. It make you feel refreshed. But the spirit trapped in the house, where it gonna go? Hmm? You have to do that stuff away from your location. And they said when you do it away from your location, you can't go back. Because if you go back over there, you'll get it back on you. Hmm? They said turn your back and look away and don't never go back. But sometimes we got to go back. But you got to go back protected, oiled up. The only protection I know of is that oil and that wooden cross. Like I got a bunch of wooden cross over here. Auntie told me, she said, keep your wooden crosses. Y'all make your wooden crosses or whatever. Get 2 sticks and put them together and make your crosses. Now this ain't gonna work for none of my enemies. I'm just letting you know that now. If you're a known enemy of mine, you can try whatever I do. It ain't gonna do nothing but bring you harm. On the rock, stones, crystals, and bones, and all the asteroid. I'm not fixing a doctor up a snake that done bit me. Hmm? So we would go down to the rivers, and we'd have our heads wrapped. Okay, I want to tell y'all about that creek experience. So I had a man, he came here all the way from North Carolina. He flew like the next day, and y'all might have remember that he was having trouble with on every full moon. He'd get very violent and angry, and he'd go to drinking. It's only full moon. I told him, I said, somebody do work on you. You know if folk got work on you, because if you coming up on the full moon, if you feel like you don't feel your best, you don't feel well, and crazy shit be happening to you, that means that somebody has been working roots on you. And they start working their roots on either the dark moon, y'all don't call it dark moon, the new moon, or whatever. You understand? These witches and root workers and whatever they want to call themselves. They'll start their work up around that new moon. Like right now, somebody's starting to cook up their shit now. And then they let that stuff pickle, if you want to call it pickle, ferment, whatever. And or just putting their intentions out. And then that stuff is maturing. Whoever they doing the work on. And I'm not going to talk about what they put on there. That's only for clients. And I said if I had a small little holy space, we could talk about it. You understand? On a good day. So I took this man to get his head clean. Took him down there to the creek. He was really scared of me too. He was scared. Took him down there to the creek. Washed his head. Everybody was just looking at us. People, well, I guess y'all gonna say, well, Mama, they would be looking at you if you're sitting out here washing somebody's head in that creek water. So we were down the creek water and everything. I'm washing the man's head. He sat there. I washed his feet and all that little stuff. That's how you really do a true cleanse. You're gonna wash the person's head and you're gonna wash their feet and their hands. You know what I mean? And we coming back up the hill. That stuff came off of him. I saw it. It looked like leaves. Like, you know how leaves look when they just turn black or rustle up? And the thing was just following me, trying to come up my skirt. But that's why I believe in wearing long skirts all the way down to my feet. It wasn't able to get in. See what I mean? So, a lot of folks might just casually go to the creek or casually go to the ocean and river and wind up getting some stuff on them. Like I know a man that got some stuff on him like that. He went to Myrtle Beach. Just casually at the ocean with his girl and wound up with a spirit on him. You know, it's a lot of spirits over there. A lot of little crazy shit be coming from South Carolina on them oceans. I don't know something about that place. I think Myrtle's North Carolina, South Carolina. North Carolina, South Carolina is very haunted, all the way down to Savannah, Georgia. That's very haunted, right there in that little Atlantic area, all up in there. Very haunted because that's what Atlantis was. Atlantis was joined on to Atlantis. Thank y'all for the cash out. So that's where it was. And thank you, moderators, for putting my information out there also, too. If you want me to call your name, who gave the cash app, I definitely will. But other than that, I'll protect you, give you your privacy. But, yeah, Atlantis was there. So, we talked about, y'all, I'm shifting gears. I'm shifting gears, and then I'll come back. We've already talked about, exactly, Gail. Gail said North Carolina beaches used to be called the graveyard of Atlantic. Woo, yeah. See, they thought you had forgot. They thought we forgot. They was hoping we forgot. We ain't forgot what y'all did. It was no space between the America, the United States, and Africa. The land mass was drowned. And none of it is a coincidence now. All these different drownings of these different towns, please believe me, they are not coincidence. Somebody intentionally drowned most of this stuff. Hang on, because y'all know I'm finna do it. I'm finna do it. Hold up. Don't get me started, because you got me wanting to talk about it. I'm out. Okay, let's talk. Damn. Okay. This is just a handful. Just one handful. But it's far more. Anytime a black town began to prosper, they get frightened. Just like I said, black women and black men, watch your back, especially black women, because there's an uprising coming. I'm not here to spread any hate. I'm only here to spread awareness. It is said what these people are going to do, these extremist groups are planning to do to us. So I want everybody, whether it's true or not, I just want everybody to be on high alert, even if you, and it was a Caucasian woman that put the alert out telling us to protect ourselves because she heard it. No matter what race you are, if you're white, if you're Caucasian, whatever the terminology you want to use, I want everybody to be very safe and be very careful right now. Okay? If you're Hispanic, be careful out there right now. Because what they want is a race war. So, when these places start having their own pharmacies, their own hospitals, their own banks, they began to feel as if though you're pulling away and you're infected. And before you infect others, they'd rather what? Do away with you. Cowaligo, Alabama, please stand up. You were drowned. Nervous Sink, Alabama. Nervous Sink. I don't know what it said. Hang on, y'all. Let me see. Nervous Sink. Oh, gosh. Sunken towns of the United States. That's what they call them. But somebody sunken them. Nervous Sink. Flooded by Nervous Sink Reservoir and relocated. Olive flooded by... do y'all hear that? Vanport, Oregon, please stand. All black town, drowned. Butler. I can't click into that to figure out what state it is. Castle Dome Landing, Colorado City. Elmore County, Illinois. Thank you so much for the cash out. It's so kind of you. If you want me to call your name, I'll give you a shout out. Fontana Lake, Western North Carolina, please stand. You've been drowned intentionally by you know who. Little Egypt, North Carolina, please stand. Resurrect yourself. Kennett. I didn't even know about all these different places. Kennett was drowned by Lake Shasta. Every time you got a thriving black town with its own what? Hospitals, libraries, things of those natures, they turn them into lakes. They turn them into dams. Kensico. Oh, I'm sorry. Kensico. Near Neversink. Flooded for a reservoir. Lake Jocasey. Dang, I didn't know all this was going on, y'all. Y'all write this down. They needed construction for Duke Power Company. Every time, like I said, they put poles in my yard. Very dangerous poles. They always find us and put them in our town. Like if another town pop up, like that black woman who bought a whole town in Georgia, ain't heard no more from it. I ain't heard nothing else about it. But if that town ever thrives, they're gonna want to what? Build a what? A lake over there. Oscarville, Georgia, which is under Lake Lanier, where lots of people drown. Under there's a black town. Seneca Village in New York City is now under what? That big park. I forgot the name of that park in New York City. Established in 1825, Seneca Village became a sanctuary for black people seeking refuge. It offered respite from the discriminatory practices of New York. What's the name of that big park there? Central Park. I think that's where it's on the Central Park. And me and Willie was talking about that. We were watching some movies on it. Let me finish. I hope I can. Boysville. Susanna Village in Alabama. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Black Wall Street, burned down. Rosewood, burned down. Did y'all hear that? Susanna, Alabama is under Lake Martin. Lake Martin, a dam, construction. Drowned town, what traces of ghost cities lie beneath Alabama's drowned towns, what traces of ghost cities lie beneath Alabama's man-made lakes? The Great Lakes of Michigan. Drowned towns under there. We'll never know the names of them. All lakes are man-made. They're used to produce power. All your ancestors underwater. So I'm saying all of this to say this right here. Oh, and let me finish talking. Now, in addition to that, they also like to build buildings on top of our graveyards. And if you dig the graveyards up, it's black people that predate Christopher Columbus. Let's talk about all this now. And I'm hoping that somebody is learning something. Why would they be black? Why would there be black graves of people that predate Christopher Columbus. Hmm? Hmm? Everything that has a grave on top of it, have graves under it. I'm sorry, is going to collapse or be mud flooded. Let's talk about ground zero of the World Trade Center that is no longer. You know why the reason it came down? Mr. Wood said came down because black folks was under there. Black graves. Hmm? All these buildings gonna come down. Even in Florida, they found black graves under buildings that were demolished. Predated Christopher Columbus. Ask them how come they had to close down the Grand Canyon. Some portions of it. I don't know if they may have opened it back up again. They had to close it down because they found something in there. Hey. Talk to them about all of them black mummies up in there that predated Christopher Columbus and all those hieroglyphs written all on the wall and all of those so-called looking Egyptian artifacts. Let's talk. Huh? Let's call up Queen Khalifa. You know, I know they said, oh, it's just fiction. You know, it's fiction. No, it's not. It's real. Black queen that ran Southern California, probably all of California. Let's talk about her. Look her up. What they drowned over there, what they burned down over there. Huh? Look up the black California Indians. Let's talk about Oregon. Oregon so racist up there until they had a law. It was illegal to be black and live in Oregon. We're talking about how racist it was down here in the South. Let's talk about Oregon. That place wasn't no joke. So I said all to say this right here. All of this to say this right here. Atlantis was probably, more than likely, intentionally drowned. This is why it's so haunted right there in that Atlantic. Just like Lake Martin, folks drowning there. Lake Lanier, folks drowning. Buildings on top of burned down towns and black graveyards. The reason why they coming down. When you go to, they always talk about the Bermuda Triangle. Ships go down. Yeah, let's talk about why the ships going down there. Because you got black graves under the Atlantic. That was Atlantis was a black civilization, drowned. Never to be no more, but I believe a lot of this is going to, my prediction is, a lot of this is going to resurrect. Because you can see the rooftops in Lake Lanier, some of the different places, houses on the Lake Lanier from Oscarville, Georgia. Because waters are going to be drying up. And when it dries up, the truth going to be told. Already in Lake Martin, you can see some graveyard, them graveyard tombstones of Susanna, Alabama are popping up. Don't be surprised if Atlantis arrives once again and shows up out of the blue. In other words, all lies are being uncovered. That's exactly what's going on. So this is why they're frantic right now. Okay, y'all, it's been so nice. I really enjoyed this. So I really wanted to talk about hoodoo, what it is. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm just gonna say it from my mouth. And hoodoo, I mean, in Alabama, hoodoo is not it's not a good thing. Now I can't. I'm not speaking for nobody else. Hoodoo ain't a good thing here. It's and I can't change how these people feel. These people in Alabama see hoodoo as something bad. So it might be some people who might come here and come and do their videos and say, no, hoodoo ain't bad. My thing is that I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the folks, the people here. The people here see it as a bad thing. And people who gravitate to it here and say, I need this done, they're looking for you to do something real nasty and dark and terrible to somebody. That's just the way it's going to be here. I don't care how you try to dress it up and try to make it look like it is like just light in it or what have you. These folks ain't having it. These people gonna run. They're gonna be like, no, I ain't finna get into that. You can't even say the word spirit around a lot of these folks. Because they've seen what it has done to people. They've heard the stories. Like I told y'all. I seen the pictures myself. Now, Google done cleaned all that up. I remember a long time ago when the World Wide Web was like the dark web. It was just the dark web. You could find things, anomalies. Man, some of the stuff I seen on here when this stuff first got started. I'm talking about like late 90s, early 2000s, right up in there. There was this site that was showing just all kind of stuff, things I have never seen. I'm gonna tell you about one thing I'm gonna tell you about a couple things that I saw that I didn't even know was believable. People like giving birth to just like it's not a full baby, it's just a lump of flesh with hair on his head. No eyes, no mouth, no body. Just a head with no eyes, no mouth. Stuff like that. Anomaly type stuff. And I ain't finna go any deeper than that. I'm like, oh my God, you can't find none of that stuff now. It was on a place called Dark Stealth. They took that website down. Um, but one of them sites I had went on, it showed like some stuff that would come into the hospital. People who would come into the hospital. And one that I ain't gonna never, well, two of them I ain't gonna never forget. A person had, they did an x-ray of a person's stomach because they kept complaining about their stomach. Their stomach was like large. And they had the person had a head in their stomach, a whole head. The legs on the person was like emaciated or whatever. And they just had this big old swole abdomen. They x-rayed the body and there was a head with the eyes open and everything, mouth open. Now how that head get in their stomach? Somebody did some work on them. I'm going to give you one little recipe and I ain't going to say nothing else. Also saw where somebody had a whole rat in one of their organs. A big old rat. Now how they get in there? I seen where people had pins all under their skin, like pins. How them pins get in there like that? All of that is hoodoo word. Roots, as they call them. Somebody plant roots on you. You got people that can locate where that root at. You got a root on you and it look like it's in your foot. That's where your root is. It's a root. That's why they always say we got to get down to the what? Root cause. So that's what that is down here. Is that. And here's the scary part that's frightening people away from the whole practice. You can use the Bible to do that type of work. People can get their Bibles out, go to them different chapters in that Bible to do work to get you well and make you swell. It goes both ways. And there's a very dark chapter in Psalms, y'all. I was told to read that chapter, and the man said it'll get the stuff off of you. And I read that chapter and everything, and I ain't gonna lie, for me it made things worse. So I would never, I ain't even call the chapter name out, cause my lights and stuff was blinking all on in my house and stuff like that, and the wind was blowing, and everything. This was a long time ago, way back, like in I said like 2007 or something like that. And that shit was so motherfucking dark. Not only did it do that, but it chased me out my motherfucking house. Remember I told y'all it's that shit. Some of this stuff they give you to chase you out your damn house. Cause see, in other words, he was trying to remedy this situation. I'm not gonna say he don't know what he doing, but some stuff so hot. They done cooked it up so hot, it'll run you. It'll run you. Some people have you running for the rest of your life. You never will have a stable roof on your house. Some people just put a tongue on you. Some people's mouth is the work. Some people have a strong, powerful tongue. And you don't want them to say nothing. Lord Jesus. They said something and it happened. They can put running spells on you, baby, where you be going from pillar to post. That's the old terminology that the old folks said. Oh, he went from pillar to post till he finally run himself crazy. And one day I might talk to y'all about that. What you do to make something like that happen to a person. And and then like a lot of these folk you find homeless and stuff, and even a person with a strong head, they can take your head from you and have you where you in the street. You can't make good decisions and informed decisions. Keep the roof over your head. So whereas you was financially prosperous and you thought it was a sturdy foundation, they don't rip the foundation by making you go crazy. Now that you crazy, you in the street. From one place. So a lot of these homeless people, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of these homeless people have running spells on them. Every time you get somewhere to go, some start fucking with where you at. Then you feel like, oh, I need to get up and go somewhere. Just like I got shit over here now. You don't move. You remedy the shit where you at now. You don't run. Unless your ship burned down or drowned, then you got to go. What are those things? Like when I left and I came here, I left squirrels and red ants and rodents and shit like that. But I come here, took 3 years and it returned. Sometimes it's some things that you do that can bring that stuff to you. That's why you got to be careful what you plant on the outside of your house and know what it draws on a spiritual level. Some people don't know what things draw on a spiritual level. Excuse me. We're always looking at the beauty of everything, but what does it draw spiritually? Something spiritually might be attracted to that. Rats might be attracted to it. Snakes, red ants, squirrels, that type of stuff. That's why you see some people, they don't have absolutely no bushes around their house. I have a tendency to want bushes around my house. So on the spiritual level, it attracts a lot of birds. It attracts rats. It attracts squirrels. It attracts stuff. I got chickens. They attract snakes. So what you put around your property is going to attract something. Watch your statues. If you put, you don't like squirrels, don't put no squirrel statues out there. It attracts, there's a spirit of the squirrel in the statue. It's going to attract it. If you put angel statues out there, quite naturally, you're going to attract angels to bring blessings. If you put Jesus statues out there, you're warding off certain type of bad energies. If you put gargoyle statues out there, you get my drift. That's why on a lot of spigots and spouts, they have gargoyles out. If you put toad statues out, you're going to naturally attract what? Lots of rainwater and moisture and things like that. Frogs attract certain things, with your statuettes or what have you. You get it? But if you see where you got issues going on, foundation issues, I got some foundation issues. I got two drop trees. Two drop trees is a representation of something trying to uproot your foundation. I got to get them two trees up. They dropped. We had straight winds. Oh, a while back, them trees been down. I should have been got them up. And we're not talking about no little bitty baby tree. We talking about some huge trees that got to be gotten up. Okay, and it affects the foundation. Should I get up and leave and move? No. You remedy your problem. Stand your ground where you at. Because if you go somewhere, it's gonna follow you. So if I get up and I leave and say, well, I just decided, shit, fuck it, man. I'm just going somewhere else. Well, you just gonna go over there where you going. Now you got this running spell. So you got to stand your ground on that running spell. You get somewhere and you stay there, and anything break down, anything happen, you fix it as you go. Don't go nowhere. Wooden crosses. And it's okay to put wooden crosses out there in your yard. You got to put them out in your yard. Put them out there. You got to have all kind of protection against all kind of forces and stuff like that, y'all. But anyway, anybody got any question? Yeah, dark goddess, how you doing? Gargoyles. Gargoyles are very protected. And like I say, they're protective, and in addition to that, they bring moisture to your what you call. That's why they use them on the little, okay, say for instance, okay, what you call those things? Gutters. If you see a lot of those statues, I call them Moorish statues. The Moors built those when this place was called. Some people say this place was called what they called it? Lanteria. They used to call the United States Lanteria. It's so many different names. It just depends on what culture of people that were here that named it. Everybody didn't name it the same. Some people called it Amaruku. Then it turned to America. You see what I mean? Morocco or Morocco is close to Morocco. And we were joined from Atlantis to Morocco. Amaruku. They called them Amarucans. You see what I mean? And most of these buildings that you see downtown New York that look very historical, in Chicago, and your courthouses, okay, in your cities and stuff, were built by black Moors. Moors. Now they're trying to the Moors and stuff are making a comeback. They're starting to call them extremists, black extremists. You see, so just know your history, do your research and stuff. All those buildings that look like odd buildings, like, oh my God, how could they have built those? They built them, and they would have they have like the little water spout spigots or gutters would be like gargoyles. It's some beautiful, rich history of Moorish buildings downtown New York, and some of them you can see where they have been mud flooded. Some of the windows are under the ground. You can see small remnants of the windows sticking out because it was all mud flooded. Mud flood volcanoes are starting to pick up, so that's just the earth recovering itself, giving itself a new surface. When you go down to the layers and layers and layers and layers of the earth, you will see so much history of so many different civilizations that are now part of the crust of the goddamn earth. It's going to happen to us. There's no telling what was sitting here 2,000 years ago. It's no telling. You can't even go back a good 5,000 years ago and find a 5,000-year-old structure. If you can, please show it to me, because I want to see it. Now, I think they got some up there in England and London and places like that. They got some castles that were very, very old. Yeah. Exactly. Gail says Mother Earth is purging herself. She's finna get ready to purge. They said mud volcanoes are starting to blow up everywhere. That's where she just released that mud and just cover. She can release her mud. Ain't nothing to save you from that. We could talk about all kind of survival skills we want to talk about. But when the end of time comes, and the end of time only means the end of time for us, her time continues, her realm continues. You understand? They were showing petrified. Do y'all know they were showing petrified giants that were mud flooded? And they showed this alligator. This alligator would be at least the span of about a mile long. God damn. And he still had his mouth wide open. And he had a whole mountain on top of him. Think about all that mud flooding throughout the so many thousands of years on that. Think. I think every 1,000 to 2,000 years she mud flood herself. And the only reason why them castles are still standing up there in Europe is because they were built so high. That's why you got some people like in you look in Asia, some of their structures and stuff like that are built on the tallest mountains because they are aware that that mud flood time coming. And the people who survived were the people who went to the mountains of these structures up on high altitudes, and they were able to survive the mud floods. And it's getting ready to happen again for the new era. And although it might sound scary, it's nothing to fear because we ain't gonna do nothing but come back. Except for the ones that don't want to come back. And if you don't want to come back, you better figure out how not to, because I can't tell you. That's just like me trying to tell you, when did this place ever begin? All I can do is say a theory is it always existed. It was never a time where it didn't exist. Man can't even wrap his mind around when that began and when it gonna end. It's gonna end for us, but it ain't gonna end for this place. Mama gonna get her some new skin. I ain't talking about me. I'm talking about what this here is. And they have found like giants that are mountains now. They went in the vaginal cavity of one of the mountains. One of the actual females. There were giants that turned into petrified mountains and giants. They found faces that are mountains. When you say Himalayan salt, I'm eating the Himalayan salt. Just know what that is. Anybody in here know what Himalayan salt really is? We know it's a pink salt, but you got to know what that actually is. And for those of you all who don't know what Himalayan salt is, Himalayan salt is the crystallization of the contents of these petrified giants' blood. Thank you. Gail says blood. Simply Keela, how you doing? She says blood. It's blood. Blood of the giants. You right, Carzy. Y'all know. Y'all. Hey, look. Y'all know way more than I thought y'all knew. I thought I was talking about something. So when you saying I want, and I don't even like a lot of people hype. They hype it. I really don't like Himalayan salt because it does, in a sense, taste like blood to me. I don't like it. I don't like the seasonings of it, the taste of the seasonings of it. I tend to go to the sea salt. I know y'all gonna have a fit if I say, and look, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Okay, so okay, let me get this out of the way. And when they cut open this stuff and stuff like that, like they cut with, okay, say for instance, they find a big, huge rock and you open it up and it's red. Some of those are blood deposits too. And they call them what? Rubies. Because see, it stands so much pressure, be so much pressure on it throughout the tens of thousands of years, and it crystallizes, and then they call it rubies. Some of them can turn green, they call them emeralds. Some of them can turn blue, and they call it sapphire. But regardless to what it is the portions and the parts of the bodies of the petrified giants. Then now we're getting into diamonds and quartz crystals and all of these things. All of it is a part of it. Now, this is just me saying this. I said, I don't necessarily believe that the earth is a globe that is round. It may be a flat disc. But I told somebody, I said, what if the earth itself is nothing but what? A petrified giant. Ah! Because look, the petrified giants, they began to eventually grow grass all over it, and you could just about live on them. Think about the people who live on them that may think that that itself is what? The whole entire universe. But we can see more broader than that, whereas they can't. They don't know they're living on a petrified giant, and you don't know you living on a petrified giant too. The earth itself may be a petrified giant. Because she bleeds. They found openings where blood is coming up. She has a menstrual. She's alive. What if I told you that the ocean was nothing but the urine of the petrified giant? And that all of the springs and rivers that flow through her is just what? Her blood vessels. Because sometimes the water turns to blood. And they looked under microscopes and they found blood cells. Some portions of the Arctic is bleeding right now. So I just want y'all to know. We'll never know. It's all about hypotheses and theories and things of that nature. But I'm going to let y'all go on. Karzi, how you doing? Simply Keela, you doing okay? Hive Honey, how are you? Hey, Shay Boogie, how you doing? Hey, Erica, how you doing? Where you been? Oh, you said, Erica, you say you homeless? Let's look at these chain of events. We're going to talk a little bit later about that, okay? These chain of events that led you there. Because a lot of the times, we may just look at it, oh, we just fell on hard times and stuff like that. But we need to look at it a lot of the times, somebody's doing constant work. That's why I tell people, when you see yourself running into some trouble, immediately go out and seek some help. Immediately get out there and seek supernatural help of some kind. I always tell you, you can always gaze to the stars and talk to the stars. You're not gonna be homeless for long. Erica, I can already see that. Not for long, because you got a strong mind, a strong will. The people who wind up out there homeless forever and don't ever get off the street are usually the people who give up. And I don't see you doing that. Hey, Shay. How you doing? Anybody I did not acknowledge? Hey, Medusa. Think I got to everybody. Hey, Divinely Protected, how you doing? Hey, Sandra. Sandra said, I am new to all of this and I want to know everything. I do know that there is a difference between hoodoo and voodoo. Okay. Yes, it's a long, extensive study, too. Hey, Black Magnolia. Hey, Jackie. Thank you for moderating. Where you been? I think I got to everybody. I'm still in here looking. Thank y'all so much, moderators, for eliminating these trolls. Hey, no sheeple. Nice little breeze blowing out there. I got my window open, y'all. Hey, American isness. Okay, American isness says Carmela is not black. She's not. Well, Carmela's not a black woman. That's a hype so that they can convince us to vote on her. I'm not buying it. But if y'all want to see us being a black woman, that's fine. But they always got these so-called black people that ain't came from black circumstances. They haven't lived a black life. They haven't. Just like Obama. Oh, he's black. No, that man wasn't black. That man was African. He was African and Caucasian. He was a biracial man. He was not nowhere near black. He don't know the black experience, and he never will. Hello? Now his children black and his wife was black, but that's it. Mm-hmm. So if you want to vote on her because she's a black woman, be my guest. I didn't say which way I'm going. I just said, if I vote that in that direction, I'm not voting on her because she's a black woman, because that's not true. They got her pretending and parading around these some black schools and stuff like that. And come on now. And she talking about how her mama washed collard green. Said she washed collard greens in something, I don't know, wash machine or a bathtub. It's just ridiculous. That collard greens don't make you black. But anyways, I ain't got nothing. I won't say anything negative about her. Hey, Radiation Wizard, how you doing? Hey, Infinite Judo, I already spoke to you. Hey, Renee's Secret Garden, where you at? Where you been? I'm not, I don't even want to get onto that. My thing is, and that doesn't affect whether or not she's going to be an effective president or not. Just, they need to just stop with the she's black thing. Just stop with that, because it's irrelevant. People are just only looking at whether or not she's able to run a country. That's it. Am I right or am I wrong? Hey, Tasha, first to the chat. Okay. Okay, then. So, y'all get out to the polls if that's where y'all going. And be safe when you go out there, okay? Karzi said that she heard she was Indian and Jamaican. And somebody said she was some kind of East Indian or some type of thing like that. I don't know what it is. But if she's Jamaican, I don't know how y'all feel about that. She's not African American at all. They don't consider Jamaicans African Americans. They're not. Nobody from the islands is an African American. So she's not our kind of black. That's a different type of black. And I know people gonna say, well, what difference does it make? Black is black. You just don't, if you just don't look black to me, you ain't black. You're not black if you don't look black. That's like me going around saying I'm Hispanic. Y'all know I'm Hispanic, don't you? I cannot claim. People gonna look at me and say you just don't look Hispanic to me. Yes, but I'm Hispanic. And the reason why I'm saying this because when I looked at my profile, my DNA profile, I have Hispanic people in my family. You know how you look at the little DNA? I had my DNA pool, and they showed me some cousins, and it's some Gracias and some Hernandezes on there. And they said they are very distant cousins. But does that say that I can go around here saying that I'm a Hispanic? No, because I don't look like one. Hello? Simple as that. Like they calling us Africans. I ain't got no problem with people who call themselves Africans and all that. But we really don't look like them. We don't really look like Africans. Now, do we? So you are what you look like, if you ask me. Simple as that. I know y'all gonna be mad with me and everything. My thing is, vote on Carmela because you want to, because you know she's gonna be able to get the job done. Don't vote on her because she's supposed to be a black woman. Don't trick yourself like that. Please don't do that, y'all. Okay, y'all. Let me let y'all go on. It's been nice. Okay. I'm hoping that I can do something tonight. Oh, I ain't know that divinely protected. Oh, fly high, Quincy Jones. Didn't we lose some old head celebrities 2024? Didn't we, y'all? Did we? Let me tell Mr. Willie. Hey, Mr. Willie! Come here, cause he loves some of that. He loves them. I don't think Mr. Willie know what he called. Let me see what he said. Mr. Willie. I'm on the live chat now, and one of my people on here said that Quincy Jones passed away.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't hear that. Let me go check.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You notice all these people passed away? All these celebrities, older celebrities, James Earl Jones,
Mm-hmm.
John Amos.
Yeah.
What that man? Frank Beverly. And the man who played in Roots with John Amos. What his name was?
Luke Gossett.
Cause they show John Amos called Lou Gossett up and said, "This is Kunta Kinte."
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go take you up there.
Yeah. So now we done lost Quincy Jones. We lost Whitney Houston, Mama.
Yeah, sure did.
Who else we done lost, y'all? Y'all name them all. Carzy said James Earl Jones. Yeah,
Tito
Frankie
Jackson.
Beverly. Oh, Tito Jackson. That's just too many, ain't it, y'all?
Yeah.
That's too many. What's going on? What's going on? Now, wait, honey. Folks leaving here. That's what the old folks said. Folks leaving here. Anybody else that I'm missing, y'all? That done passed? Dark Goddess said, y'all do know that wasn't Whitney Houston's mama for real, for real. Dark Goddess, that was her mom. That was her mother. If you listen to both of them voices, I know what you're talking about, though. There's a lot of hype going on out there that the lady who played Christy Love is really Whitney Houston's mother. But if you listen to what her name is, Sissy Houston. If you listen to Sissy Houston's voice real good, and you listen to Whitney's voice real good, they actually sound alike. You can tell. Another thing is, well, that don't mean nothing. I was gonna say this right here. Whitney Houston's daddy, if you look at her, but okay, let's put it like that right here. Whitney Houston has a striking resemblance of her grandmother, but that might not be a good analogy to bring up because If I'm not mistaken, that lady is on Whitney Houston's daddy's side. But look it up and see. She might be on the mother's side. But also, I've noticed that what her name is, Dionne Warwick. Dionne Warwick and Whitney Houston shaped up alike, and
Yeah, he died. He died.
uh-huh, and the legs, their legs are shaped alike. Willie, come here, come here. Now, Mr. Willie, believe you.
Believe what?
You don't believe that Sissy Houston is. You told me you don't believe Sissy Houston is Whitney's mom.
Nope.
Cause y'all watching the documentary.
I just don't believe she.
And a lot of people, not documentary, a lot of people saying on videos that it ain't. But I'm telling y'all,
Yeah.
I'm telling you in the spirit, I can see it. That's Whitney Houston's mother.
No.
And I'm gonna tell you why.
That's not her. That's not her natural born mom. That's no.
Cause let me look. Let me tell you something. Dionne Warwick and Whitney Houston shaped up just alike. They got the same legs and everything. And Whitney Houston's voice sounds similar to her mama's. Mm-hmm. She just took after her daddy's side of the family. But it is alleged and it is said that Whitney Houston's daddy legit had an affair with Christy Love. And they claim she had his baby, and then they raised the baby in the family. So that's why I don't know nobody believe that what's this woman is her mom, but I believe that that's her mother. I believe Sissy is her mom, and everything. Now that's just me saying that, because I can clearly hear the resemblance in the voice, the walk. They got a similar walk, all that different things like that. You know what I mean? What'd you say? Car Z said Tina Turner, Lisa Presley, and Suzanne Somers. What am I missing out on? Every year has its number, Gail says. Hey, Miss Vine, where you been? Okay. Sean Butterfly, how you doing? Says the purge is happening. Gail says harvest season. Yes, it is. It's harvest season. It's going to be hard to make it 2025, y'all. So we're going to pray. You understand? It's going to be rough getting there. And it's going to be rough trying to come up out that 2025. But we sure have seen our fair share of folks leaving here. And there's some other folks in past too. I just can't call all of them name out. Yep. But thank you so much for letting us know about his passing. I'm trying to see who brought that to. Thank you, Divinely Protected, for letting us know of his passing. Uh-oh. Dark Goddess says Kamala wasn't born on the soil. Thank you. You know what? We here lately, folks ain't been born on the soil and come up in here and just run a whole country. The fuck? That's like me going to Kenya, Africa, and holding the office. Where they do that at? I'm going to go to Kenya, Africa, and I'm going to hold an office there as president. The United States is the only place I know would do something like that. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? She wasn't even born on the soil? I can't even let my daughter hear this because I got cussed out 2 or 3 times by both of them. Phone hung up in my face and everything. Because I said something about Carmela. I can't say nothing about that woman around them, honey. Do you hear me? That's crazy. What? But anyway, I'm going to come back and read. Gail said all Jamaicans are not black. Sure enough, not. They ain't been through the struggle. You got to be through. You got to be went through the trial and error to be talking about some you black around here. Everybody want to claim they black, But they don't want to go through the struggle. Do you know the struggle? Do you know how hard this struggle is? Being black means less privileges. If you got the privilege of becoming a president under this type of civilization, you ain't black. Right now, Puffy Combs can tell you, hello, what black means, black, what it is to be black. He can tell you because he thought he had privilege to do what he wanted. He thought he could do what they do, and you know who they are, because Hugh Hefner been doing it for the longest, and all the rest of them. Hello? But being black means that eventually, if you do what they do, your privilege will be snatched away from you. That's what black is. Hello? Now, you might be black over there in your area, in your country, but you ain't black over here. Hello? I know what y'all gonna say, oh, well, we black, we done went through our struggles over here in Jamaica, but you a different kind of black. You ain't the kind of black we are. Because we done went through the Jim Crows and shit. Our ancestors had to build this land up. I know your ancestors built the land up over there, so I'm not discounting you all that. I'm just basically saying it's a different kind of black. And y'all know that if I go over to y'all countries right now, if I go to Nigeria right now, that Nigerian girl told me, she said, you ain't our people. And she right. I'm an American. I don't care how much Yoruban bloodline they found in me. I am a black American. They're quick to tell you you ain't our people. Hello? And I agree. I always say, I agree with you. I agree with you, but I got to tell you something too. You ain't our people neither. I'm talking, y'all. I ain't talking y'all. I'm talking about talking about that Nigerian lady up there that told me, that little young lady, like she was about 25, 26, something like that. I got to tell you that too now. Cause I know you aspire to come to America. I'm not saying everybody want to be here, but most of them do now. I'm just gonna be honest. And when they get over here, they separate themselves from us. I never will forget, it used to be this Nigerian girl that used to wait our tables and stuff. And she would actually talk to me about African Americans. And I told her, I said, but I'm an African American too, though, don't you? She didn't say nothing. African Americans never give tips. They never give tips. They always make a mess and never get tips. Those African Americans. I said, baby, I'm an African American too. And I told her, I said, do you know? And I just tested. I said, do you know now that you're African and you're over here, you're African American now? She shook her head and said, no, no. She said, African Americans ain't welcome around them. Now I'm just telling you what they say when they come over here, y'all. I love all people. If you love me, I love you. I don't care what color you are. But they all seem to have a problem with us. We're so loving. We accept so many of them and stuff like that. And we do, y'all. We really do. But y'all need to understand they don't accept us like that. So, I just wanted to talk about that. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, Dark Goddess. I feel like, listen to me, I love all people. Now, they ain't gonna agree with me, but listen to me, what I'm finna say. I feel like Jamaicans are our people. I do believe that we were all just shifted and traded all over the place. Listen to me. I feel like the Cubans are our people. All of these Caribbeans and the Brazilians and so we somewhere we got a common ground with each other. But they ain't gonna accept me like that. I feel like Haitians are my people. But do they feel that way about me? Hello. We all have our similarities at the end of the day. They might call it tomatoes. We might call it tomatoes. They might call it a vase. We might call it a vase. Hello. Okay. And then if you white and you treat me good, we brothers and sisters. We are of the human what? Race. Every last one of us, we need to embrace it. But keeping on stressing how Kamala Harris is a black woman, it can be misleading for a lot of people because a lot of people are voting her in because they say, "Oh, she's gonna be our first black lady president," without realizing she was not even born on the soil, as somebody said. And I believe you got so many black people here now that are qualified that can run the country. It's what about the black women that were born on the soil? How come she can't run the country? How come the black man born on the soil couldn't run the country when Obama got in office? I want you to see this place. And do y'all know that your first president here on this soil was a black man born on the soil here? Nobody ever talk about it. So they trying their best to keep us from getting back in the office because they know once we do, we taking back the land. Hello. Amen. Dark goddess, you right. We are scattered across the four corners of the earth. And see that's what people don't understand. Everybody ain't came straight out of no West Africa. We were just here, period. We were the first humans here. We're all nine ethers. I like that. Nine ether beings. Hello? And the earth was our home. Was no boundaries. Was no, oh, you can't go here because you're not a citizen here. You was a citizen of the goddamn earth round. You went wherever you wanted to go. They stopped that. And folks don't believe it, but we're all one people. But don't nobody believe me when I said it. It's always tribal. Oh, it's even like that in Nigeria. It's so tribal there. It's like, okay, so they found Yoruban DNA in me. Even though they said I'm of the Yoruba, they're not going to accept me because they know I'm American. Understandable. No cultural appropriation over here. Hello? But it's so bad they have wars against tribes. And don't they realize they're all the same? Y'all the same people. But it's a war of the spirits and the cultures, really. That's what it is. And the traditions. That's what's at war. But you got Yorubans having wars against Igbos, wars against Isans, all these different tribes. And that's what everybody said they have the biggest problem with Nigeria is how the different tribes war against each other instead of coming together. And this seems to be the issue with black people all over the earth round. They're all tribal. When we become tribal, we war against each other. And that's what's going on here in the United States. The reason why you see all of this conflict in their neighborhoods and things of that nature and everything. It's the tribal wars. The spiritual tribes are at war with each other. Remember, we talked about that earlier and everything. Y'all watch that movie called The Deliverance. I do recommend that movie for people who are spiritual. I do recommend that to you all. I've watched it twice. and it has Monique in there, and the main character in there. I can't think of her name. If y'all know her name, please let me know her name. Um, if you watched The Deliverance, and that sister, I don't know her name, who sings that song in the beginning. Whoo, Lord have mercy. Whoo, she blessed us with that voice, didn't she? Anybody here watch The Deliverance? Press one if you watched the movie The Deliverance. It's on Netflix. Anybody watched it? Nobody saw it. Please watch it. Please watch it. The beginning of that song in the beginning, song by that lady. I don't know who. I don't know what her name is. I don't. Ooh, that voice. That is a very angelic voice of hers. She took us to church, baby. Nobody saw it. Press two if you didn't see it yet. If you hadn't seen The Deliverance. The Deliverance. It's on Netflix. The Deliverance. Press two if you haven't seen it. Has my chat stopped? Okay, so I had nobody seen. I thought maybe my chat wasn't moving. Okay, nobody saw it. Press three if you're gonna watch it. Press three if you want to watch it. It's on Netflix. Okay, so I won't say nothing. I won't say too much more because if everybody in here and if nobody had a press three, then I was gonna go ahead on and spoil it. I was gonna spoil it, but one spoiler alert: it is a true story. That's the best I can do. And I wanted somebody to tell me what that main. Let me. I got to tell y'all who that main character is because she did a damn good ass job of playing that. Playing the mother on there. Let me see. Okay. I was trying to find out who the cast is, y'all. Let me see who the cast is. That was Netflix did it that time. It was, I think her name is Andra Day. Her name is Andra Day. She played that main character, Ebony Jackson. Which Ebony Jackson is a real true life lady who went through this. But watch the movie first before you look up Angela Day. I mean, before you look up, I'm sorry. Before you Andra Day. Okay, no, I'm not you can look up Andra Day, but before you look up Ebony Jackson, watch the movie first. And the other character was Glenn Close. Glenn Close. She played Alberta. Alberta was the mother of Ebony Jackson. And Caleb has had a growth spurt because when you watch the movie, he look like a little boy, but they showing him now he look like he grown already. So he has had to have had a spurt. Let me see who was singing that song, cause God. Oh my God, I can't spoil it for y'all. I can't spoil it. I ain't. No, let me see. Because baby, can press one if I get one more spoiler alert. Press one if I can get one more. I'm only talking to the people who gonna watch who press three. So if you press three, I'm only looking at you. I'm only looking at the people who have pressed three. Because I want to make sure that those people, okay, my people who press three, I don't want to spoil it for them. Okay, one more spoiler alert. The speaking in tongues part. Woo! Woo, Lord. Oh, man. Whoever did that, they had the gift of prophecy. They had the gift. Mr. Willis said it's a gift because I tried to speak in tongues afterwards, and Mr. Willis said, you don't have the gift. Let me get him in here. Hey, Mr. Willis, come here. See, he a minister of music. Well, he was a minister of music. He still played for a band, but he was a minister of music, and he know all about it. And he used to go to prayer meeting, and they would speak in tongues and stuff like that.
Well,
Mr. Willie, I'm on live. Can you tell the people about speaking in tongues and all that? When I tried it, it didn't work. What you said about that speaking in tongues?
talking directly to God.
They can't hear you say it loud.
Talking directly to God.
That's the purpose of it.
Mm-hmm. Right. You know, when I was growing up, we had people around me doing that. You know, Frida.
She knew how to speak in tongues.
It's a gift. But I don't know, the group I was in, it was like a gospel group.
You had to talk up.
It was a gospel group.
Mm-hmm.
I was in, Ryan and my brother Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
There was two more guys in there.
Mm-hmm.
One of them played the drums, the other played the bongos. And we had three girls.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to always have prayer, and they used to always try to make us speak in tongues.
Yeah, I remember you told that.
Yeah, they made Ryan do it, but they didn't make me do it. Because I said, I didn't know, why would I say speak in tongues if I don't know what I'm saying, and then somebody trying to make me do it.
Mm-hmm.
But then when Ryan told me that he did it because they tried to make him do it. He said when he did it, he said, man, I was just I was just saying it like just to get it off my back.
And what he was saying is repeat it.
He was saying, oh, no, 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 no. Well, I thought he was for real. But
the gift came over him, he didn't know it.
He probably didn't know it, but he...
Did it seem like, because when you got the gift, people both feel it. Did y'all feel it?
Well, he said, I thought he did, but he said he didn't.
But did you feel it?
But my cousin did.
Which one? Tom?
Kevin. Yeah.
I ain't never heard your cousin.
Frida's son. Frida's son, the youngest son she got.
Oh, yeah.
He was talking, he was saying, he was at church, he said, I'd never shout. I'd never speak in tongues. And then that same night, we had a service at church, and I guess he just got into him, and he started doing it. He said he felt it.
Could y'all feel it though? It's not about whether or not just we can.
No, I couldn't. I didn't feel it because I was.
Because when people speaking in tongues, you're supposed to feel it.
Yeah, you're supposed to feel it. Yeah, you're supposed to feel it. I'm
talking about the people, spectators, been feeling it too.
No,
that's the power of it.
No spectator don't feel it because you don't.
How come I feel when that lady on that movie? Don't talk about it too much because some people want to watch it. Remember the movie Deliverance we watched last night?
Yeah.
Remember that lady started speaking in tongues?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't feel it?
No, I didn't feel it.
I did.
I didn't feel it because I don't know what she was saying.
Oh, so people
I done been around plenty of people that's spoken.
I ain't talking about. I'm talking about feel. They feel it in your soul, in your core.
I'd have been around plenty of people that did that, and I never felt it.
I felt it in my core.
Well, maybe some people probably do. You probably did feel it, because you were so into what you was doing.
Oh, that was a powerful. I get the chills thinking about how that thing felt.
I'd have been around people that really did that, and I still didn't feel it.
You sound like a demon, don't you, Mr. Williams?
No, that don't make me a demon.
I'm just playing. Don't get mad with me now.
I'm not getting mad. I just said don't make me a demon just because I just didn't.
But didn't you hear me say I'm just joking?
Yeah, Nita.
I'm gonna get Charles on you because Charles already said you was a demon. Remember?
Oh, he one too. He can't call me no demon. We call each other one.
Yeah, but and that thing will run the devil off.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Even when you call Jesus' name.
You heard that bird?
Yeah. You can have bad dreams and call Jesus' name and it'll run it off.
Right.
Yeah, you heard me wake up out of bad dreams.
Yeah, you just said, what you said? In the name of Jesus.
I can't get it out good. You can't get it out good.
Well, see, that's how your brother chased that demon off, but it came back. They come back, so you just have to stay, prayed up.
Yeah, Well, the one he chased off, he said he had a, what he said he did? Oh, he said it came on him like a rim.
Right.
There were two of them. One had his arm down, the other had his leg down.
Mm-hmm.
And he said
You think those demons, or that's just a part of life that we gotta all go through?
not certain people, not everybody. Not
Oh.
everybody.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you don't think everybody gonna meet that in the end?
It's called. It might sometimes. I don't know. I don't know if it's according to how you live your life or what. It's according to how you live your life, and then it might be towards like the end of your life. You don't know it.
What about good people? You think they gonna see that too?
Yeah.
They gonna see the Grim Reaper too?
I ain't saying they're gonna see the Grim Reaper, but you know everybody got to give account for what they did, or they sin or what they did wrong.
But you honestly think that everybody gonna see the Grim Reaper though?
No.
It's different type of death angels.
Mm-hmm. I don't think my mom, she passed away. I don't think she saw the Grim Reaper.
So how you, if you live a bad life, a bad lifestyle, they come and get you?
It's hard to say.
Oh, okay, because I'm like, how come out of every? Let me tell you something about the Grim Reaper. I've noticed that most people who see the Grim Reaper in the end have dealt with some forms of drug activity, that nightlife stuff.
But my Ron never dealt with that.
You know he was surrounded by that.
Oh yeah, I understand what you. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Your surroundings.
Oh yeah.
You can say, "Hey, look, I don't do drugs or nothing like that, but I do let them come in my house and shoot it up."
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I get it now.
It seems like he's the one that comes and pick you up when you're dealing with that night lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you know what? He was winning the fight when he was burning them candles.
Yeah, he was.
So you know what? They scared of candles.
Mm-hmm.
Demons are afraid of candles.
They scared of camera and they scared of the name Jesus' name too.
Yep. They don't like that.
Because on that movie, when that lady called on Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everything changed.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Changed.
Yeah, I just wanted to get your perspective off on it. And so what constitute? How do you know somebody got the gift because they sound right when they start speaking in tongues? It sounds right. How you know who got it?
I don't know
How you know the difference between the person who has the gift and the person who just making up some words?
Because you wouldn't know.
So basically, what you saying? Well, then, so it's not a gift. So anybody can sit down and just make up a bunch of babble and.
I remember the guy named, when I went to church with this guy named Roger. He wouldn't know who I'm talking about anyway. He gonna hear. But he was I went to church with him and everybody in the church. You know how they have praise service. Everybody stood up. Everybody in there was speaking tongues. Everybody.
Ooh, that was powerful.
He was standing next to me, and I know I could tell he was doing it because he heard everybody else doing it. And I said, I'm not going to say that because I don't know what I'm saying. I don't feel it. Later that.
So you didn't want to speak. You said speaking directly to God.
Yeah, but I didn't feel it. You have to feel it. I didn't feel it. I felt like if I would have been doing it, I would have been doing it because he was doing it. People around me were doing it, but I wasn't really feeling it. Like he was just talking something. He was just saying it because he heard him. I could tell because he was looking around like this, like he was scared. And I said, I'm not going to say that.
Did it feel powerful though? Everybody doing it.
No, to me at the time it felt crazy. I thought it was crazy. Because I was
How
like,
you feel about it now?
I feel like people who have got the gift, I don't feel like they're crazy now. But
you believe it real now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you become a believer when you saw that on that movie, The Deliverance?
Yeah.
Or you believe way before then?
No, I believe way before then because I believe that stuff. Yeah, I believe it. Mm-hmm. I believe it's powerful. I believe that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go on. I just wanted
to
talk. Let them hear your perspective on that. Speaking in tongue.
Yeah.
How you feel about people who shout and fall out?
Yeah, I see when people shout and fell out and bump their head, and people shout and get mad and angry and stuff.
Do you believe that it's a force that take over them? You think maybe that's what it is?
Sometimes it don't be no Holy Ghost. It be the devil.
Why you say that?
I see when they do it.
Oh, you said that be the devil.
Oh, Mama, you told that because you ain't got no Holy Spirit. You got this. You're trying to fight with somebody trying to stop. You know how people shout. They be trying to get. She did. She hit Mal, and Mal hit her back. The mother said, "No, there ain't no Holy Ghost."
Let me tell you something. That's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah.
You know, cause they said, you know what you say them women be wanting?
Man, to grab over them. Yeah. When they be shouting. Some of them do though. I believe they like that. Or that.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. You know what? I never will forget them young girls used to do that. They were like, they was my peers around my age. We was like what, 15, 16, 14 or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember Carla?
Yeah, I remember Carla. Yeah.
Carla used to shout.
She did, and she was 14, 15 years old at the time. Yeah.
She used to shout, and then they was trying to and you know why they wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Well, who else it was? Kamisha, Carla. They would shout like that. Terrence tried to do it.
Well, yeah, when I was
coming, she wanted to do it so bad she couldn't. She just was sitting up there crying and everything, just crying. Mm-hmm. But they was sitting up there throwing their arms up in the air, and the men coming over there grabbing them and all of that, doing all kinds of stuff.
Me, I was young then. I was in the youth choir, Birmingham District Choir. Mm-hmm. And all we had a lot of young people now, and those young girls used to do that all the time. We'll have practice. We'll be at rehearsal, and then at the end they'll start praying and stuff. You know, I told that girl to try to make me go to the altar.
Right.
They go to the altar, Willie. She used to do it. She used to shout and stuff. And we were no more than 15, 15 years old at the time.
Now I think in some cases, some people do get the Holy Ghost, as they say. You understand?
Yeah, I don't believe
But now some of it's kind of suspect. You got a short dress on.
Oh yeah.
You decide to start kicking your legs and heels off and all that.
Cause me and this other guy named Marla, one girl was shouting. We had to pick her up and tow her out to church. And Marla, Marla sat up there and rubbed the girl butt while we towed out to church.
Did it seem like she was aware of what was going on?
I know. I don't know. She probably was. Well,
was she asleep?
She was like she was out. She had her arm like this. She was out.
And she really was out.
I don't know if she was out or not, but I had to hold her.
Well, now I'm gonna tell you something. Well, we went. They didn't play that. Only the women can touch them.
Yeah, but at the time, they
didn't let the men touch them, baby. Yeah. That's why the ushers was there.
Yeah, you right.
Y'all didn't have no ushers.
Yeah, they had ushers.
Them ushers is ushers.
Yeah.
I don't know which
one.
But see,
this was up in the choir stand, in the choir stand.
The usher be standing. You ever seen the usher standing there? Every bench, she's standing there with her white dress, her white stockings, and her stuff on. Yeah. Sometimes they have black on.
Yeah.
When them women get to cutting the food, they go right over there and give them spirit of ammonia to sniff or what have you. Or they have a blanket or a sheet to throw across their legs.
Yeah, like the choir stand, there'll be a door. There'll be by each door, and the choir stand in the middle.
Right.
They used to stand at our church. That's how they used to do. They used to stand at one stand at that door, one stand at that. I was an usher one time too.
Well, at the same time, because they do have male. You're right. They have male ushers. Mm-hmm. But then I'm talking about some of them have them standing also by the bench too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Especially when they passing that money.
Oh, yeah. You remember they do that in our church?
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. They want to keep an eye on that money, don't
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But so you can't play that mess over there. You gonna get down on the ground and kick your legs and stuff with your short skirt on. They gonna drop a blanket over you.
Yeah, they did. I just seen them do that a lot.
Cause see, you know what they be trying to get the attention of certain folks, like the pastor and all.
Yeah, I just seen the women hit their head on the on the thing.
They said animals have to be called to some churches.
Yeah, cause some of them bump their head and stuff. And I see one did that bump their head.
I have never felt happy in no church. So what that makes, I felt like something was wrong with me. Because I never had it to hit me.
Because most of the people in the church are demons.
Oh.
You remember, and I believe Naomi when Naomi said that.
What Naomi said?
She was talking about, Miss Jackson dead and all now. So, well, I kind of think She said, I looked around, everybody was a skeleton except Miss Jackson.
So what that mean?
Miss Jackson was a demon.
You don't think that woman said that because she just don't like Miss Jackson.
She, now I don't dislike Miss Jackson.
Miss Jackson was that real light skinned lady, wasn't it?
Uh-huh. You remember? Yeah.
And we was at the hospital one time with them.
You see her? Yeah.
What makes her think she was a demon though?
I don't know. She said, I looked around.
I forgotten she had a gift.
Who?
Nama had a gift.
Nam had a gift, but that lady.
But she sang just like Mahalia Jackson.
Yeah, but that was a mean lady.
Well, see, it takes one to know one then.
Yeah, that was a mean.
She was a
lady.
demon too then, wasn't
She was a demon. That was a mean. I hate to talk about her, but that was a mean lady. Thought she was bad and all that.
That was your mother-in-law.
Ex-mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she thought she was bad as hell.
Well, yeah, that lady thought she was bad. That was a mean lady. Mean lady. But she yeah, she had a daughter just like her.
Lord have mercy. Okay, Mr. Wood, I'm gonna let you go on. Thank you for that little interview.
Yeah. But like I said, you know, when people be there and stuff.
Okay, Raquel, thank you so much. I know you working and everything. And you have a lovely day, okay? Okay, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go on. I really enjoyed. Anybody want to introduce themselves who hadn't ever introduced themselves to the chat? Simple Keita said them ushers were some mean women. I felt uneasy at church as a child. Oh, they'll pop you too, honey. If you got to acting up back in them days, they felt like they could just hit anybody's children. They didn't care. You was acting up or whatever, they'll pop you. Then turn around and tell your mama on you. You be like really worried. Then say, damn, I done got one ass whooping. I got to go and get another one. Damn. That's 2 in one day. Yes, I remember that. They wouldn't let you chew no gum. Can't be popping no gum. Nothing like that in there or whatever. Yeah, take gum out. It was so bad that in the choir stands, they would not let you wear earrings. No gum, no earrings. It was real strict up in there. I heard that Doc Goddess says, I'm opening up a voodoo temple here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Will you come visit me? Oh, yes, I definitely will. I didn't know you was in Alabama, Dark Goddess. Look, if you here, then I'm inviting you to my temple too, in Selma. Okay? Oh, okay then. Wonderful. Okay. So you gonna come and visit me? We'll have tea. Y'all, when y'all come and visit my temple and everything, I have every kind of tea you can imagine there. I have our teacup sets, everything. We can sit in the sunroom and have tea, or we can have tea on the porch, or we can have tea on the deck. Okay then, I'm looking forward to seeing you. Okay. Well, okay, everybody, I'm gonna let you all go. We've been here 3 hours and everything. I'm hoping that I can come back tonight. Okay. I want to talk about the different recipes of hoodoo, and there's some good recipes. Okay, don't get me wrong, but I want to just talk a little bit about one in particular that is a very dangerous one. Okay. Okay. 9. Bye bye.